Hello and welcome. So in this video I'm going to be showing you my VS Code setup which helps me for maximum productivity. Now I use VS Code for a lot of things. I use it for Python, for PHP, for front-end development using React, but I'm going to be showing you my setup for basic needs: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then Python. So I'm going to be showing you using an installer that I downloaded already. But if you want to download the installer, you can come to code.visualstudio.com/downloads. You can also go through Google. If you want to go through Google, just type VS Code. Okay, so you can see VS Code. Just hit the download link over here. So get out. Okay, so you can just download whichever one for Mac OS, for Linux, Ubuntu, then for Windows. So if you want to use Python for a server-side programming language, for example, if you want to use VS Code with a server-side programming language like Python, for example, you need to download the Python interpreter. You can get the Python interpreter at python.org. So if you go to python.org, you will get the Python interpreter. So if you come to downloads, you will see the latest release over here. So that is if you want to use VS Code with Python. But if you want to, I'm on Windows machines by the way. If you want to use VS Code together with the PHP for PHP development, you need to download XAMPP. You need to download XAMPP, XAMPP, yes. So you can see you need to download XAMPP. So with this you can do PHP development on Windows. So another one, you can use WAMP as well. You can use WAMP, but for Python, then for PHP. So I've downloaded this installer already. What do I want to do? I'll come to the downloads folder where I have it. Then this is the installer over here. So you can just install it. Accept the agreement, click on next, 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 create a desktop icon, and I want this to be selected, yes, and add to path. So next, then install. So you have to wait for some few minutes for VS Code to be installed on your machine. um, this will obviously be faster on some machines compared to others, so just wait a bit. Okay, so launch Visual Studio Code. So if you untick this, if you come here, you see your Visual Studio already installed. So you can just run your Visual Studio from here, or you can just search for VS Code. You can see Visual Studio Code, but I'll be launching from here directly. So finish. Um, I can just maximize it. So this is my Visual Studio Code. This is my Visual Studio Code. What you are going to be getting when you install it afresh. So, well, I love to use dark mode for everything I'm doing. I love to use dark mode. So I'll come to the dark high contrast. Majority of my videos on the channel, this is what I use. So you click on dark high contrast, then I think I'm good on that. Then most importantly, what you want to do, you want to install some extensions. Now extensions anywhere on the internet are softwares with which you can extend the default functionalities of a particular software or a system. So if you want to use Python together with VS Code, you can just install the Python extension, the one you are installing. Okay, this is IntelliSense actually. This is what you need. This, okay, you are installing the two if you install this one. So both of them, they are from Microsoft, and you can see the verified icon over here. So if you want to use it with C or C++, you use this one. But the one that I'm concerned about is Live Server and Prettier. So come to Live Server, you install it. So this live server, one thing you use it for, if you're working on an HTML, CSS, and JavaScript file setup, so you can set up your program in such a way that when you save your HTML, your CSS, or your JavaScript file, it will reload the file in your web browser automatically. So the live server creates a server for you on your device. So every time you save the file in your VS Code, it will automatically reload it for you on your web browser. So I'm going to be demonstrating this. Then you have to install Prettier as well, live server Prettier. Then another thing you want to install is live Sass Compiler. Now I use Sass a lot. I use Sass a lot. I use Sass a lot. Live Sass Compiler. This is the one you are working with. So live Sass Compiler. So if you know what Sass is, so this will just help you to convert the Sass code to the CSS. So I close this. Then another thing that I would like to do, let me create a new file. Control N, Control S. Then let me just go to downloads, then new folder. Then I can just say a new. Then instead of plain text, I'm going to select HTML. So save this. Okay, so you can see my new HTML file. So one of those things which that can maximize your productivity is knowing VS Code shortcuts. Okay, so let me say H1. So this H1, heading 1. Okay, so if I save this, now this is the web browser that I'm active on at the moment. So if I come back to my VS Code and I decide to go live, okay, I'm supposed to open a folder. So please take note of that. Open folder. So the folder I want to open, yes, this same new folder. Let me open this one. So this is why I have the VS Code set up. Yes, then yes, I trust the authors. So this is the VS Code setup. I can delete it actually because I'm not using it for anything anymore. So I can just open the new HTML file. So if I save this and I decide to go live, um, okay, you can see heading 1. So you might select the two, just allow the access. So come here, then you can see I'm having heading 1 over here. So if I change this to title and I save it, come back to the web browser, you see that instead of heading it has changed to title automatically. That is the work of this live server extension. As for the Prettier is for formatting the code. So for example, if I do something like this and I save it, you see how ugly it looks because of this space over here. But if you do something like Shift Alt F, you can see Shift Alt F is what you use to format your code. So it is telling you to configure default formatter. You can just click on configure, then you see Prettier. The reason why it is showing Prettier is because you've installed it. Click on Prettier, you can see it has formatted the code. You can see it is looking way appealing now. So that is what the Prettier does. It formats your code. So the third one is the Sass, the live Sass compiler. So let me say link. I want to link a CSS file. Okay, style.css. So don't forget I've installed Sass. So I can just come here. Let me create a new Sass file. Let me say it has to be the same name as this other one, style.css. So you can just do something like style.scss. Okay. Now you can see the icon that is there. It is because you can see it has triggered the extension. So now you can click on your watch Sass, then it will open a new terminal over here where you are watching your Sass. So if I do something like H1, then color red. Let me make this thing more span. So inside this span I can say title 1. So you can see this H1 and you can see the span itself. So come here, then color is red, then for the span the color will be green. So if I save this, you can see, but it has also created some other files here. If I come here now, if I click on this Sass file, this file over here, you can see you can see what it has compiled the whole of this code to. It has compiled everything to this. So this is what is linked to my HTML. If I come to, you can see title and 1. So because the live server is active, it is just reloading the web browser for me automatically. So one more thing I will advise you to do is to come to your, no, not extensions, come to your settings and settings, then you look for format on save. Format on save, you can see editor, format on save, you click on this. So every time you save the document, it will format. Every time you save it, you can see every time you save it, it will format it properly for you. So that is that about that. One more thing you might want to do, if you feel like this font size is too small for you, so you can always increase it. So one way to do it is, if you use Control plus, it will increase the font size of the whole VS Code. But if you want to increase the font size of this text only, come to settings and look for font size. Okay, so you can just come here and change this to um maybe 18. If I save this, so it's on 18 now. Come back, you can see I've increased the font size of this without increasing the font size of the whole VS Code. So that is it basically. Well, I'll stop here for now because, like I said, VS Code is something you can use for so many things. If you want to use it with Python, I have the Python extension installed. All you have to do is to download the interpreter. While installing the interpreter, you add the interpreter to path. As soon as you add it to path, when you open a Python file, it will automatically detect the interpreter and it will show you somewhere at this bar over here. So, well, that is my minimalist setup for VS Code. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the video to support us. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.